Hi, let's talk about New Year's resolutions. It's New Year's Eve, and this is the moment where so many people are thinking of some of the things they've been wanting to change, wanting to activate, maybe some of their deficits or things that they are seeing as gaps or openings, possibilities, and making some clear commitments to themselves this time of year of how they want to go forward. I want to offer you a lens to look through and different ways that you can double check your resolutions to make sure that they're really a container that's holding you, supporting you, and not any locks, any manipulations, any edges around it to give you the most successful and curious exploration with your own resolutions. So let's dive in. Hi, I'm Swift Everdy, and thank you so much for being here. If you like my videos, if you're curious about this, if you want to see more, make sure you please like, subscribe, click the bell, all the things. So I'm an energy healer and intuitive guide, and I work with people and in these videos on how we can interweave our body experience, our interpretation of the world around us, our lives, our relationships, drama, trauma, all of it with our infinite consciousness, with our inner knowing, with subtle energy systems, and weaving all of that into a toolbox called the Infinity Healing Practice. If you're interested in more, please check it out down in the links below. So let's talk about how we can do all of this with our New Year's resolutions. So, there's a few checks that I want to offer you on how we can weave and make sure we're showing up with full commitment, possibility, all of that in relation to our resolutions. So the first is that I want to offer the curiosity of making sure, especially if you're coming from a deficit, if you're coming from something you're witnessing as a weaker point for yourself or something you might be judging yourself for from the past year, that you come in through self-love. That you're coming in with a lightness, an invitation into something, not a shaming of the past. So really weaving in the capacity to lens at your resolutions with self-love. You are beautiful. You are enough. You are potent. Saying those things to yourself, believing them, knowing that just because you have a body, you are enough. You are beautiful. You are potent. You have connection. So if you have goals around body image or around relationships coming from a place of strength versus deficit, if you use mantras, using that, or if you, in this work, we use a lot of questions. So using a question like, what if I knew I was enough? What would my resolution be for this year? What if I knew I was beautiful? What if I already knew I was beautiful? Then what would my resolution be for this year? So I'm not having any judgment around body image or weight loss goals or anything like that, because there are people in this world that really do want to change their bodies. And if we're anchoring from that self-love place, I think that we can have more success with it. We can have more of a lightness, more of that weaving in of self-care versus a shame or a judgment or a constriction around our bodies, around our beauty, about the relationships we want to be having in the world. So coming from that place of self-love first. Number two, I talked about this last year on my Facebook group, and it's so important. Making sure that your resolutions are for you, not for anyone else, not anyone else's point of view, anyone else's shame, judgment again, but as long as it's not coming from outside of you. The first tip I talked about was making sure it's not coming from within you. The second point is making sure it's not coming outside of you. Anyone else's shoulds and musts and all of that coming from the outside of what someone else thinks you should do, or even just what society thinks you should be doing. If it's like, oh, I need to get a better paying job this year, there's some reality to that there might be something that's really true about that for your sustenance and your lifestyle and what you're looking to manifest. And make sure that you're doing it for you, not because society told you to, or a family member, or a beloved, or a boss, or a teacher, whoever, someone outside of your system, your physical system right here, put that in place. So checking to make sure that your resolutions are for you. So make sure your resolutions are for you. Make sure that and these are options. This is just my thoughts on this. Please, you can dismiss anything I say at any moment. This is just my points of view, but this is what I'm offering today, and I hope you find it helpful. So clearing anybody else's agendas, points of view, making sure it's yours. And you can ask, is this mine? Is this resolution mine? And feeling if that feels light or if it feels more constricted. And checking to make sure that you're coming from a place of self-love. So the last two are the curiosity of how do we approach our resolutions, which seem so concrete and solid and a little bit of rigid, from this place of an intention versus an agenda. And the difference there, I mean, is an intention feels softer. It's an opening. It's an invitation in. It's leaning in. It's a yes. It's a, oh, like, ooh, I want to be really curious and open and leaning in this way. Okay. Versus agenda is there's musts, there's shoulds, there's concrete lines and boundaries, and it can feel really harsh. Now, you may have resolutions that you know you need to have that strict structure agenda about. Perfect. Please don't change that. But if you're having a knowing that you're coming in with that structure and that harsh edges, and you're needing to soften a little bit to give yourself the possibility of more success and more embodiment of your intentions for the year, please do offer yourself the possibility of coming in with intention versus agenda. So taking a few breaths there, recognizing, maybe looking at a list if you have a few resolutions written down, leaning into them and seeing like, is this an opening? Is this an invitation? Or does this feel more harsh or more of a judgment? The last one is really beautiful. I love this idea. So what I want, and in the perspective of infinity healing and the energy healing toolbox that I do, and just what we've learned about energy healing, is that every single thing you do has an impact on the world. Every single thing has an impact on the world. So just by moving, changing jobs, changing the way you're treating your body, you could be influencing someone that you have never even met. You could be influencing your genetic system, your family, your children, people you don't even know. You have that much impact. So knowing that that's true, runs through that of like, wow, if this is true, if I'm going to step into my intentionality with my resolutions this much this year, think of the ripples that you can create. Be curious about the ripples you can create. Be conscious and witnessing how your own changes within your own system can impact the world around you. It's, from what I've experienced, it's just true that when I make some change, I get a call from a friend I haven't talked to in forever. It's like, guess what I just did? I'm like, what? I just stopped eating corn or something weird like that. You make ripples, you have an impact. There's a subtle energy field that moves around all of us, and we can tune into that and be aware of it. So just another piece for you to get curious about as you're thinking about your resolutions. So these are the 4 things I wanted to offer. I hope you find them helpful, and really invite yourself to more embodiment when you're thinking of your resolutions this year. It has been a rough year, as we all know. Holy moly. And of all years, why not really come in fully embodied, feeling the container that is your system fully enlivened when you're stepping into your resolutions this year. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. It seems simple and it totally isn't, but thank you. And I just wanted to offer, if you're curious about more about me and what I do individually, one-on-one with clients or in groups, please check out the links below. There's a free mini course if you'd like, 5 days. It's called Ask Away, using inquiry on how we can wake up our connection to ourselves, to our intuition, and really just get in there a little bit. Also, if you just want to know who I am, want to know more about me, please just let's book a discovery call. I'd love to get to know you better and offer you more of a connection with me to see if we're a good match working together one-on-one. It's been a blessing. Thank you so much for having me on your screen today. And if you'd like more, please like, subscribe, click the bell so you get notifications for my next videos. And thank you so much. I'll see you next time.